It seems like the golden era of action RPGs is back in full force. Now more than ever, we're getting more games announced in this genre. From the big boys on the list like Last Epoch and Path of Exile 2, to the smaller but hopefully decent upcoming titles like Superfuse. Well, it seems like we have another game we can tack on with the long-awaited announcement of titanquest 2. That is right. We finally have a new titanquest coming our way, and to be honest, this is one I've been looking forward to for a very long time. So let's just jump right into it and start to go over the information we have about this upcoming sequel. So the original titanquest was known for its vast world. In fact, the game felt more like an odyssey instead of just a simple action adventure game. And titanquest 2 seems to be keeping that same feeling. A world of myth and monsters set out on an adventure worthy of myth that takes you from picturesque beaches to serene Greek temples to places no mortal has ventured before, including the mysterious realm of the Moirai themselves. Battle classic creatures from Greek myth and the original titanquest, including Inthians, satyrs, harpies, sirens, griffins, and many more. Now I'm very happy to see this list of monsters, as one thing I did enjoy about the original titanquest was how rooted it was in Greek mythology, and how it was just a different change of pace to other games at the time. While Diablo had you slaying lords of demons in a dark and gritty gothic setting, TQ was much more bright in tone and had you facing monsters straight from Greek myth. It really gave the game its own identity. In fact, we can see on this screenshot what looks to be like a giant crab, as the character seems to be doing some sort of leap slam attack towards it. Could this be the game's take on Carcinus, the giant crab from the 12 labors of Hercules? We'll just have to wait and see. And it's not just epic monsters we can look forward to, as the world is going to be handcrafted. Instead of just doing random generated tile sets, they seem to want to capture that feeling that the original game gave us, making us feel like we're going on an epic quest in a lush, beautiful, large world for us to explore. Now, there is one thing that did catch my attention, and that is that the game is going to have divine mounts. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure how I feel about this. I do wish the first game was faster paced. That being said, I cannot think of any ARPG that has handled mounts well. So hopefully they're able to pull it off in titanquest 2, but I really do not have high hopes for that mechanic. Now, before I move on from the large open world topic, I want to say, if this world ends up being filled with hundreds of boring side quests that they expect us to complete like a checklist of chores like some other game, I'm going to be very disappointed. But enough about the open world. Let's move on and talk about character customization. After all, theory crafting is one of the best elements for this genre. In titanquest 2, you are in control of your own fate. Customize your hero, then form your own class by combining two masteries. Build your character around the strengths and weaknesses of both masteries, exploring combinations of skill modifiers, attributes, and items to create your own hybrid class. And find your own playstyle. Grow your powers from those of a young mortal to a hero to rival the gods themselves. Now, I am absolutely ecstatic to hear this. The dual class system is one of the best features in both titanquest and Grim Dawn. Mixing and matching different talent trees to create something really unique and make fun, crazy builds is something I greatly enjoy in RPGs. But theory crafting is only half the fun. After all, these games are all about the loot. Every item serves a function, and every character class has many options when it comes to finding the perfect equipment. Even the most common spear can be upgraded via crafting, and with the right ingredients, You may even forge it into a unique item spoken of only in legend. So yes, the game is going to have a crafting system, and from the sounds of it, it's going to be a very deep, complex crafting system. So I know a lot of people really enjoy these crafting mechanics in their games. However, I do have a hot take here. I prefer farming monsters and finding epic loot instead of crafting it. I don't mind a more simple crafting system where if you find epic loot, you could slap a couple of enchants on it to enhance it, but I'm not big on making the weapon itself, if that makes any sort of sense. I like just going out into the world, finding a unique boss or a crazy boss, killing it, and that's how you get the best items in the game instead of farming materials to make the best items. But I know that's just personal preference. But let's move on and talk about the multiplayer. That is right, the game is also featuring online play. Join up with friends to take on the goddess of retribution. Like Jason and the Argonauts, sometimes you need a group of heroes for your journey. So one thing I would love to see in TQ2 is dedicated servers. Maybe have the game have season resets, ladders, and all sorts of fun stuff. After all, those features are kind of the new hot thing for this genre, and actually I greatly enjoy them. But I want to make it very clear, the game also needs to have offline support and not be one of those games that constantly requires an internet connection. What I would love to see is a system sort of like Diablo 2 had. Single player, peer-to-peer open multiplayer games, and closed dedicated server. If a game from 23 years ago had all these features, I have no idea why so many of the newer games do not. I understand developers say it's for security reasons, but let's be real, pretty much all these modern games have bots and duped items in them as well. So at this point, just give freedom back to the players and allow us to play the game which we purchased as we see fit. But I would love to hear what you all think. Are you guys excited for this title? Do you think they'll be able to capture the magic that made the original game so epic back in 2006? Let me know your overall thoughts in the comments below. Also, if you made it this far and did enjoy the video, let me know by dropping a like, and if you are new, please consider subscribing. As for me, I got a ton of work to do, so I'm gonna get back to the grind, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.